We've reached the end of episode 9, and with it, part 1 of this series comes to a close. But this is no finale, it's the calm before a deeper storm. Because what's coming next is not gentle, it's precise, it's long overdue, and it's going to get uncomfortable for the right reasons. Two paths have emerged, and both lead to truth. The first will go deeper into how your nervous system, your breath, your posture, emotions, and attention aren't just responses to life, they are life. They shape how you think, how you speak, how you relate, and how you heal. And when you finally understand that your body isn't betraying you, but begging you to listen, everything begins to shift. The second path, less spiritual, more surgical, we'll be exposing the psychology of empathy deficient individuals, those who disrupt peace, distort connection, and operate without remorse. Not monsters, not victims, just emotionally stunted adults who leave wreckage wherever they go. In part 2, we'll dissect how they manipulate without raising their voice, how they mirror you until you forget who you are, and how they feed off your confusion, your guilt, and your loyalty, while calling it love, leadership, or care. This isn't theory, this is real, and it's costing lives. People are breaking down in silence because no one taught them how to spot emotional erosion, how to defend their nervous system, or how to walk away without shame. Let's be clear, this isn't about vilifying anyone. It's about ending the cycle of abuse, a cycle instigated by the false self of the empathy deficient mind. From what I've seen, these minds don't just lack empathy, they project their dysregulation onto others, disrupting your nervous system, then questioning your reactions as if your pain is the problem. They chip away at your wholeness, then ask why you're falling apart. Their chaos demands more love and light, but only on their terms. But let's take a step back. Let's look through the eyes of a karma yogi. We understand each being through compassion. We don't reduce them to their behavior. We recognize their wounds. We understand that they are not evil. They are emotionally arrested. Their behavior is a survival strategy found in childhood, long before we ever entered their story. But just because it's not their fault doesn't mean we carry their consequences. And it doesn't mean we don't draw boundaries. Because protecting your peace is not an act of cruelty, it's an act of clarity. This is what real awareness demands, that we restore truth in our homes, integrity in our relationships, and peace in ourselves. Because if we don't learn to recognize emotional disconnection, we'll keep mistaking it for love. And if you don't protect your peace, you'll keep trading it for attention, for approval, and for a fleeting sense of belonging. Part 2 is a mirror, not to shame, but to reveal. And those still living behind a mask won't like what they see. But those ready to live differently, to love without losing themselves, to walk away without needing permission, you'll feel every word like a lifeline. Some won't make it this far. They'll scroll past, dismiss, or tune out. Not because the truth is unclear, because it cuts too close. But those who have lived it, they'll stay. Not for answers, but for resonance. Because when you have been broken by the unspoken, you don't need persuasion, you need language. And that's what part 2 will offer. I won't pretend to know exactly how each episode will unfold, but I can promise you this: what comes next will demand more of us, more discernment, more courage, more alignment with truths we've avoided for too long. Because silence is no longer safety, it's complicity. And I refuse to stay silent. One of my own lost his life in this silence, and I will not let more souls break the same way. And that's how we end this spiraling cycle of manipulation disguised as care, of control parading as connection. It starts here, with truth, with awareness, with us. Stay close. Part 2 begins soon. And when it does, nothing will be the same. Because the second half of this journey isn't about remembering, it's about reclaiming not just your peace, but your power. Not just your breath, but your boundaries. We've explored the sacred design, now we expose what distorts it, the confusion, the coercion, the charisma that masks control. In part 2, we go deeper into the patterns that break people, into the minds that drain peace, into the silent wars happening in everyday relationships. This is no longer about awakening alone, it's about staying awake, even when the world tries to put you back to sleep. The reckoning begins soon, and when it does, you'll never unsee the truth again. End of part 1. The gifts of pure consciousness. Namaste.